I gotta admit, Moan, it's not the same. It's just not the same. I want, you were right here.
I was.
You were right here.
I was right next to you, man. I was right.
If I needed to make a point, I could just do this on your shoulder. It was better.
And we looked at each other's eyes and spoke sweet nothings, right, DK?
Oh no. Let's ding the bell. So we just had somebody in from Nashville asking, did he take the bell? Did he remember to take the bell?
I did. And you know what? It's still in my backpack in my truck.
I figured as much. Let's have the crappy bell then.
I said I can't even show the crappy bell on screen, DK. Let's start this thing off. What's up?
So it was Steelers 20, Titans 16 last night at Acrisure Stadium. Moan and I were both over there. Moan was on the far sideline. The boss has a question for you. She went to the game.
Oh, did she?
Somebody came in here yesterday and just gave her a club seat. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, DK.
She's like, yeah, I'm going to go.
You doggone right.
That's right. So, of course, since she finds you way more interesting than a game of football, she's just watching you like over there on the sideline. And she said there was some kind of green ticket attached to your shoe or something like that.
Yeah, to my ankle.
Here, this is what she wants to know.
Yeah. What was the?
She got to do it right too, DK. I don't understand the question. She doesn't say, "Hey, Moan."
Hey, Moan. Hey, Moan. There was a green paper in your sock.
Yeah.
That's what identified you. It was the body language and the green paper in your sock. I didn't even need the binoculars to find you. You were so serious. Dude, the game face, I've never seen you not smile for like so long.
She did nothing but Ramon analysis through the whole thing.
It was awesome. You were so serious. It was amazing.
I had to play it straight, and you know why I had to play it straight too, right? I'm affiliated with both, like really with both. So I had to play it straight. Somebody did give me a crack a smile though, Dolly.
Yeah,
they did. I broke. I'm over here holding the mic like this. I got one ear off trying to hear Renegade, right? And hear the crowd and everything. And it was actually a medical professional that works. He's an independent medical professional. He looked at me. He went, "You miss it a little bit?" And I smiled. I was like, "Why are you talking to me?" I smiled. I was like, "Just a little bit." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, man. Let me do my job in peace." But the green band was field access.
Oh, cool.
The photographers get them, people on the sideline. So that's what gets me along the sideline and everything.
I see it. I took the coolest video of Renegade. If I was smart, I would have uploaded it so you guys can play it. Maybe I can still do it. The show. It was so awesome.
Was it?
My vantage point was amazing. I'm going to do it because this show has been long enough.
Yeah, I will. Shorten it is 2 full minutes of Renegade.
Hey, why are you assuming people don't want 2 full minutes of Renegade?
If you play Renegade, though, if you play with the sound.
Yeah. We were going to get demonetized.
Oh, we'll get knocked.
All right.
Will.
Well, okay. Well, it was a good intention.
Send it to me. I want to see it.
All right. We will.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Awesome. She was in the far end zone, which is actually a great way to watch the game in general.
Look at the club seats, man. That is a flex. She's kind of flexed on us 2 days in a row, DK.
Yeah, that's kind of how that goes. Around here.
Yeah, man. I was trying to keep it as straight face as I possibly could. All who came through yelled my name that I didn't hear, man, and came by the shop, man. Thank y'all, DK. Yesterday was a good day, was it not?
It was. We locked up last night before we both headed over there since she had a ticket. And we were like, this is why we made this place. This is why we made this shop, so that people can come down and say hello. And we've had a bunch more today. Like I mentioned to you, just a few in from Nashville now who are taking an extra day in Pittsburgh before they head back.
It's not a bad idea. Yeah,
it's a more relaxed setting, not as many zillions of people. And if you want to get around and see our museums and other sites and stuff like that, it's a different feel to it. We have I had something here that I wanted to share here. Now I can't find it. Here it is. Peripheral Saint says, how did it feel standing on a visitor sideline in Pittsburgh? What'd you get over there?
Man, it was a little different. I'm going to be honest with you. I see all my compadres on the other side and whatnot, DK. And for the most part, the team is way newer than I remember it, right? With a bunch of young guys and stuff like that. There's ever-changing turnover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, it's ever-changing turnover, man. And it was cool just watching the guys I knew over there and just was like, wow, this is what it's like being on the other side. I can see why. I'll say this too. I can see why, DK, there's so much hate for the Steelers.
What do you mean?
The need to want to beat that team, man, the Pittsburgh Steelers is a lot. That crowd, that stadium, I've heard people, the crew that I work with, man, Coach Dave McGinnis has kind of said, man, everybody wears a jersey to the games. It's not many other sports that do that. And I looked around, I was like, yeah, everybody wears a jersey. The towels, no matter how many other stadiums give them out, it's not as recognizable as it is in Pittsburgh.
It's pretty striking. I mean, I think we kind of take it for granted here.
You do. We do.
Because when you say, all right, well, it's one thing to show up in black and gold, but what you're talking about are literal jerseys, like jerseys. It's a very, very different setting here. Alan Collins asks if there's any update on Treylon Burks here. I hate to see anyone carted off the field. Mike Vrabel told us after the game that he was up and alert and everything else. And then at one point, Jim Wyatt, who works out of Nashville, covers the Titans, reported that he saw Burks out in the hallway and talking to coaches and everything else here. So have you heard anything additional?
Yeah, I walked past him on my way out of the stadium, pushing the radio crew equipment out, and I tapped him on the shoulders like, man, I hope you're going to be all right.
Okay, good.
He responded on the card and everything. He was on the same bus I was going to the airport and everything. He's there. That was an ugly look, ugly hit, and it was self-inflicted. I didn't see the actual bang of his helmet. But it has to be hard. And sometimes, DK, you know this too. Sometimes it's the right point and the right spot, man, and the right amount of pressure that gets guys that go unconscious like that. That's scary. So I'm glad he was all right.
Yeah, back of his head was what came down apparently onto the ground. And though I think we think of the ground sometimes as really soft and bouncy and whatever, and it's not.
It's not. The ground hits back, DK.
The ground hits back. So yeah, Burks was fine. The word on Cole Holcomb, wasn't as positive. Obviously,
I didn't see it. Like
good.
Okay,
you don't want to.
Somebody was telling me, like, even the broadcast did not re-show it.
No, Al Michaels apparently. I obviously don't see that, but I saw later on the social media. Al Michaels told everybody we're not showing a replay. Cole Holcomb, really good dude. He's the Steelers' leading tackler. He was their third down inside linebacker, part of that trifecta. You guys have been hearing me sing about them for a while now with Elandon Roberts and Quan Alexander. What ends up happening in the game? Elandon Roberts has the big hit on Derrick Henry, the Robert Spillane type stop on Henry, and then Quan Alexander seals the victory with the interception of Will Levis near the end zone at the end. So they told me those guys did that. They're committing the rest of this season to their brother.
That's awesome.
To Cole Holcomb. So what a night, Moan. What a day, night, the whole thing. What a ride.
I kind of, I'm small J journalist, DK, with what I do, right? And just kind of parsing both sides of this game, man. We said it too. Dana, by the way, man, nice to meet you yesterday. Awesome time yesterday. God, it was a good day.
So many of these. And Dana was like a total surprise. No idea he's coming. He's just standing there. He goes, I'm Dana. We're like, whoa.
It was plenty of that yesterday, man. Let me see, DK. But like parsing both sides, this is what I said, although it made for a very long night for me and you, DK.
Yep.
I knew both teams had played a similar style and how they operated, how they can be stagnant at time, how the defenses can rule the day, and how they thrive off of, making plays in good spots, DK, right? That was probably the best Thursday night game. Of course, there was interest with us watching the Steelers and Titans play, but all in all, that was a solid game. I was glad to kind of see, the Steelers kind of do their thing, but it wasn't the easiest take to have, DK, this past week. Last night. It was a challenge for both squads, and the Steelers came out on top, man, with the ugly win. That's exactly what it was, Frostbite.
And there's something else to remember about ugly wins. You know, I was having a good talk with Quan afterward, like I usually do, and that's regardless of whether he had. Like I told him, I'm not coming here to talk about your interception, Mr. Hero. I want to talk. Okay. And he said, I said, how was the game in general? He goes, it was a Thursday game, and I go, yes.
Yeah.
Let that explain a lot of what you saw last night, including, unfortunately, you know, guys getting hurt, guys getting banged up, and some of the things that weren't very pretty. I have something else to say about this game, though, Mo, and it's got nothing to do with the Steelers.
Yeah. Okay.
Will Levis. That is a big arm. Okay.
Yeah.
Like you prepared us for that.
I told you.
You did. Okay.
I told you.
But when I see, for example, on the play that Burks got hurt, okay, Levi Wallace is down there. By the way, shout out to Levi, left for dead. Levi had a really nice game, a couple of big plays, right?
Yeah.
The ball that, and you're down at field level, and I'm over on the other side in the press box, so we can see the arc.
Yep.
It's different than on TV. You can see the trajectory. That is a big league, National Football League throw.
I told you.
Kid can play.
And what's most impressive about him, DK, and we're talking about somebody else's quarterback because we still have questions about ours, right, DK? We can say that.
It's okay.
Yeah. And we're talking about Will Levis because it reminds you a little bit of Ben. Body's hanging on him, DK, and he still has the strength and arm to deliver the ball down the field. There was a couple times defenders were on him, and he threw the ball to the wide receivers down the middle, DK. And I was just like, how in the heck is he capable of doing these things? It spins. Like, he is the epitome of watching the ball spin through the air. There is absolutely no wobble to his ball whatsoever, DK. Kyle Phillips is the wide receiver I'm thinking of that he hit down the middle. Okay, and then the play Cole Holcomb got hurt on. That throw to DeAndre Hopkins. Rookies don't make that throw, DK.
No. And actually, Holcomb did not have bad coverage there. He lost him a little bit off the line, but the ball had to be an absolute laser to Hopkins over one shoulder, and he got it. And there's just a lot there, okay?
It is.
And I don't know what they're doing with Ryan Tannehill when he comes back, and we're going to start veering too much into Titans talk here, but
yeah.
but there is something there.
And by the way, yeah, it is.
Man, drafts, you know, everybody just let him fall. And remember him sitting in the green room?
You know, on a personal pop culture thing, his girl left him. That girl that was mad in the green room?
Yeah.
Left him. Apparently, there's a rumor that she allegedly had something with a country music star, but that is 100% left him, DK. Can you imagine?
Oh, this sounds like the potential lyrics for a country song, doesn't it, though?
Oh, well, no, this dude was actually, he shouldn't have done this, is what I'm telling you. He pretty much just backdoored him, allegedly, and we want to be clear on this, allegedly. So can you imagine if he becomes that star, how she's going to look now? I mean, she'll be all right. I think she's a pretty girl, but that's going to be ugly.
Oh no, that is really something here. Frostbite says, "What's sad though, DK, is that some of the Titans fans tried to talk mess about Will Levis. Though I'm a Steelers fan down here in Tennessee, I had to explain what that rookie is. You know, there were some rookie issues for him, but not much. Okay." TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith getting back there the whole game is not a rookie issue. They do it to everybody.
Yeah.
And they did it again. I was more impressed, Moan, I think, from the Pittsburgh standpoint against the Tennessee offense, the way they contained Henry and the way they contained the running game in general. Of course, it's nice to have Cam back.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. And I got one sentence, DK, too. And before we get into it, I'm going to ask him one question before I get to that, too. I see Robert is bringing up this right here real quick, DK. Speaking of Ben, yes, Ben texted me because he heard me on the radio in Pittsburgh. There will be a link up of shows, too, real soon. So he actually invited me. He's like, come over during halftime. We can do the show live. I was like, Ben, I'm actually kind of working here, my brother.
Here, Ben.
He was like, okay. But we were texting during the game a little bit, man. But, yeah, that's confirmed, DK. That is going to happen. We'll get that real soon, too.
Mm-hmm. Our friend Jacob comes in and says, "Hey, Moan, if the NFL cares so much about player safety, hey, you were the old union rep. You can answer this.
Money.
Why do they? Okay,
money.
Why
you know why, D. Jacob?
Play on Thursdays.
Those Thursday night games. Amazon is paying, I think, $1 billion for that. Is it $100 million a year or $1 billion a year? One or the other.
It's a lot. It's way more than $100 million.
It's way more than $100 million a year. You know what happens? The NFL gets that, and the players get a little bit more of that too. That's the reason you're going to see real soon. The NFL minimum is going to hit $1 million each because of a guy named Jeff Bezos. That's why it's money. There's no other reason around it.
Yeah, and everyone can complain about Amazon this or that or streaming this or that, and but look, that's where it's going.
It is.
You have to go where the money goes. You can't say, well, we're just going to kill all the cable stations like you're starting to see in other sports and then not have it show up somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want it on cable, where do you want it?
Yeah, exactly. You're going to stream it, DK. My one phrase as we get into the only segment that'll matter here in a little bit, DK, we got us one. We got us one, and it came at a cost last night. But we got us one, DK. Now, you're probably like, Mom, what the heck are you talking about? You are. And I want you to have that suspense right there, DK. And you know what? Screw it. You want me to bury it? You want me to go ahead and give it up? Give it up. Yeah. We got us one. And it came at the cost of an unsportsmanlike conduct. Okay?
Jeez. Yeah.
We got us one. No.
He can play.
Not even just that. We got us a mean guy.
A mean guy. Oh, this everybody's hanging on for. Everybody's hanging on for.
We got us one, DK.
Here we go. When we come back, the only segment that matters featuring talk about a certain number 77.
Yes, and that's Hey Moan, and we got us one, y'all. Yes.
At DK Pittsburgh Sports, we take pride in coverage that connects our city's fans to their favorite teams. Now, that connection's stronger than ever. Introducing our all-new state-of-the-art app. Find expert inside reporting and original podcasts. Check live box scores. Track the latest stats. Chat it up with our community of thousands of fans, all in one place. The new app from DK Pittsburgh Sports. Coverage that connects.
Okay, Moan says we got us one.
We do.
And I know he's talking about Broderick Jones, so let us know.
Man, I saw it throughout the game. I saw him bubbling with Jeffrey Simmons, who never turns anything down. Does he?
No.
I was just like, I'm on my microphone talking to the crew upstairs, and I'm like, hey, watch Jeff. I'm letting them know to watch him, and I'm watching Broderick. I'm like, oh, this is heating up. We're talking about a rookie going against a all-pro Pro Bowl guy who is not small.
Elite.
If we're being honest, he's in that top 5, no lower than 6 or 7, right, DK?
On offense, too.
Oh, come on, man.
I don't know how many people noticed that he was the guy throwing the lead block or a touchdown.
He was. Well, he was, man. And I'm gonna get on Broderick and then I'm gonna leave it because there's a lot of y'all asking a lot of good questions, man. But we got us one who, yes, Steelers Arteca, a dog. Everybody needs that tone setter. And he was that, and it came in the form of a rookie. I loved and hated also him getting that personal foul because to me it showed that it was something that was bubbling in the point that you started to win the game. So he took a little edge off of it, right? He put the team in a bad spot. That also reminds me of DK, that infamous clip of 53 when Coach Tomlin tell him, hey man, this is bigger than you. And that's all I could think he was telling Broderick in that moment. This is bigger than you. You caused us 15 yards. Tajay Spears ran this thing pretty much to the 50-yard line. You put us in a bind. But what I loved about him is he wasn't soft about it, DK. He fought back. Helmet off and everything, man. He was grinding it out. And if you're looking for a tone-setting guy, somebody that tells y'all, hey, man, follow me. I'm going to show y'all how we're going to dog people out. Y'all too quiet in here, man. Watch me do work. Y'all, this ain't no nice sport. And he played it like he wasn't a nice guy, DK. Screw the nice guy stuff. You know me, right, DK? I love to have a good time. I'm going to laugh, right?
No, I love this stuff. I love the fact that Joey Porter Jr. acknowledged to us afterward that he asked to be assigned to DeAndre Hopkins wherever Hopkins lined up, which is why you saw JPJ going left. And if Hopkins would go to the other side, he'd go to the right. Hopkins had one catch whenever Joey was covering him.
Yeah.
Okay. He's got tackling issues. Okay. You can erase a lot of tackling issues with coverage at that level.
It was good. And that's a future Hall of Famer. Depending on how the voters vote, DK, he got the numbers and the respect to actually get some votes whenever that comes around.
Yeah, no question. Let's take care of some business here because we have a lot of contributions coming in. Our friend, the barber, who came in, by the way, after the show yesterday, he just missed you.
Typical barber. Keep you at the barbershop all day, man. And then he late. Come on, Barb.
He had to do the work. You know?
Yeah, appreciate you, though. Appreciate you trying.
Rico comes in with a contribution as well. Says, as diehard Steelers fans, we go through extreme highs and lows over the course of a single game, it seems. Just want to tell you guys how much I appreciate you both. Keep it real, win or lose, bad or worse. That's really nice.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Rico.
Bert comes in with gift memberships of a 10 count right there. And Donan says that he ran into Broderick Jones at the airport this morning. The young man's a beast, a nice guy, really, really like soft-spoken, whatever. But there's something there. There's something there, Moan.
He got that nonchalant cockiness to him when he's out on the field, man. And I see what you saw. This is my second or third time seeing him. He's a big kid. And he's just that, though. And he don't know what he does not know. But I'll tell you what, I was proud of him for holding it down yesterday. But he just going to have to control it moving forward. We've seen it. It's good enough now, DK.
No, that's good stuff. Adventures in the Dark says, hey, Moan, I didn't mean to make it seem like I was, doubting Presley Harvin yesterday. He had a good game. He had a really good game.
Yeah, and Adventures in the Dark, man. Look, I promise you're entitled to your opinion the same way you think I'm terrible with mine, okay? I will never push back on y'all stuff unless I know some truth behind it. I always leave the door open, man. Presley, he a dude is what I'm going to tell you guys, man. Very, very cool dude. What you smiling about over there?
I've got a pleasant surprise here. Sometimes when people come in and want to be on do the Hey Moan thing, right, into the shop, she'll just write the names down on this piece of paper here so that I can say who it is and whatever else. And it says here, Austin from Chicago. So come on in, Austin from Chicago.
No. Oh, what's up, Austin?
Oh, well, hang on a second. All the way in.
Oh, there we go.
It says in parentheses underneath it, Cat Canada.
Hey! Let's go.
What's up, Mo?
You made it.
I did. I saw the show that was live yesterday, but we were pre-gaming at that point, so I didn't want to come in too inebriated, but yeah. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Yes, indeed.
So, as a Hey Moan, my first Steeler game was back in 2017. Steelers at Chicago. Yeah. Very interesting game. That was the whole anthem debacle. As the NFLPA union rep, can you just say what happened? Like, was the whole team a part of that? And then the whole Al situation? I just want to know.
Yeah.
What was happening?
Man, that is a thick question, man. One, it was a huge misunderstanding.
Mm-hmm.
It was miscommunication. Simply put, Alejandro got separated from us because of the flag. Mm-hmm. He was up and we were coming out, and out of nowhere, because of NFL Productions, they had to bring all that big old flag out. And then they had a group of high school kids right there. That wasn't an intentional push Owl out front. What happened though, also, people edited pictures to make us look like we're dark and then behind him and he's the lone soldier. Al hated that moment. I don't think you know. He became a symbol for a lot of groups that he didn't believe in because he's a soldier. He actually was in it as far as everything. He wasn't just pushing papers is what I'm telling you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, gotcha.
So he would never actually be in a situation like that and put us because he's a team first guy. Miscommunication, breaking the line when it comes down to the NFL Productions, and about a bunch of bad narratives after that. That was a dark week.
Right.
For us. And a lot of people said some stuff on our team to each other because of the outside chatter. It got nasty. Mm-hmm. It really did. And that was the one time I've had a non-football thing affect my job.
Wow.
First time ever. I've had personal stuff happen a lot. It's the first time I've had a non-football thing affect the game. Like, it made us feel like crap. Yeah. And there was nothing we could do about it because the public perception and narrative was already written.
Right.
Yeah. Great freaking question.
I mean, thanks for answering. Yeah. I was just wondering because, that was my first game. And at that time, no one in the stadium knew that was happening until, after.
We didn't.
Yeah. So I saw I'm like, the Bears are there. Steelers weren't even out. I was just confused.
Yeah. And by the time we got back on social media with, the the president at the time was already creating some stuff that didn't involve us.
Right.
And it got ugly from there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
No doubt, man. Great freaking question, man. I was reading your name, Cat Manado.
Cat Manado.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Awesome. Thanks, Mo.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're lighting up the phone lines there.
Oh, no.
All kinds of Cat Manado commentary from everybody. Lots of good stuff here. Barber, I was looking here at the rest of these taking care of business stuff. Crystal brings up something about George Pickens and Instagram and whatever. I have no idea.
Oh, I saw it. He's basically saying, free me. And I started another question too, DK.
Get your feet down in the end zone.
Well, you got to fall to the ground, drag them, DK. I saw that one, and of course, they were talking about how you control, George Pickens. He's under contract, y'all. DK, you know how they go. He's gonna be in Pittsburgh. It's a matter of them developing an offense to be able to get him the ball. I will say I didn't like the fact that he wasn't out on the field majority of the time. He's on the sideline more than I actually realized, DK, throughout games. But if you know what we knew, then a lot of there's just a lot surrounding trying to figure out what this offense is going to be. Y'all see that. I'm not worried about George, though. Coach T's, if he can deal with AB, he can deal with George Pickens.
Imagine somebody telling Mike Tomlin, hey, Coach, you got a minute? One of your wide receivers unfollowed you on Instagram. What would that reaction be?
Raise his eyes. He don't care. He's like,
no.
I got an Instagram?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Or what's an Instagram would probably be the main thing that you would get.
Exactly. Crystal, don't let this moment right here deter you from the fact that Coach T's dealt with a whole lot worse.
Now, when Coach T gets worried, isn't with the stuff that Crystal's bringing up and Travis Callaway's bringing up. Appreciate the contribution here. He gets worried whenever Jack, the security guy, comes walking in the door.
Now, that's a problem.
Yeah. That means something happened. Okay.
Yeah.
This is social media silliness. That's all it means. Look, he had the 2 catches, something like that, for -5 yards or something.
Yeah.
Went backward. And he should have had a touchdown.
He should have.
And everyone was going to ask him about that last night in the locker room. He wasn't around. I don't know where he was.
He's upset as a wide receiver. Again, that is the position what DK depends on somebody else delivering the goods to them. And if he don't get the goods, this is what you get.
Yeah, but when he does get the goods, drag the foot.
Yeah,
okay.
Drag the foot.
You've got to keep it in bounds. This is a classic case of one of these stories that just takes on its own weirdo life. There's so many legitimate things to talk about.
Yeah, you got a long weekend
to this football team. Yeah, there's just so much. Like Luke's question here. How can we sustain winning this ugly? Do you hear that stat about the 34 teams in NFL history have been outgained in all of their first 8 games? The Steelers are the only one that have a winning record.
Yeah. Man, I had somebody this morning say that, DK. It's like, how do they continue to survive like this? And the answer, somebody I respect a whole lot said, because they're the Steelers.
I saw somebody, I wish I had thought of the line myself. Somebody at ESPN wrote that they're Mike Tomlining their way through the schedule. That's good.
That's good.
I really wish I'd thought of that one myself. That is, I wish I could remember the individual's name. It wasn't somebody that's familiar to me. That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Was it like Graziano or something like that, I think?
I honestly,
I
don't know. Brett Harmon brings up the uncomfortable subject in the room, which is that I was the one who blamed Matt Canada earlier in the year, but I'm starting to lean toward Kenny Pickett. You have to pick somebody. to blame. Just watch the games.
But DK, we've kind of been saying that a good bit. It's a combination of a lot of things, though. I watched Kenny's football last night, and I'm not sure. I don't want to blame it on that because he wears them all the time. But the gloves, I don't know if it's actually adding a little bit more spin and velocity and making the ball float up a little bit. I ain't ever played quarterback like this, but that's just some miscues. I feel like sometimes that I wish he just clean up, and I don't know if it's because of glove, no glove. Ben wore gloves too, so I don't know how his ball continues to float a little bit. That when he had Deontay on the sideline, I mean, it was a empty zone area where Deontay was in, and the ball went sailing over his head, and DeAndre just kind of got gator arms because he didn't want to get hit in his back. I was just like, come on, Kenny, you got to hit that wide open shot right there.
Chris G says James Daniels pancake block on Najee touchdown. I didn't see Daniels pancake anybody. I saw Isaac Seumalo pull from the left guard position and just obliterate the dude in his path.
I was watching it with my wife again today, and she was like, that is beautiful right there. I was like, you know football? You know ball, but it was a work of art.
She knows a lot about left guards pulling over there, Mo.
Yes, she does.
Right?
She does, man.
That was a beautifully blocked play all around. Najee was almost able to get into the end zone untouched.
Yeah.
Mason Cole had his guy, Dan Moore, sealed to the outside. Broderick Jones actually pushed downfield from his side. And then we get to that issue too.
Yeah.
How do you let's get to Kenny first. Bob Schreiner says, do you guys attribute Kenny's poor passes to that rib injury? He had some real head scratchers last night, but also a broken rib.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what you contributed to other than the fact just be a better pro. Y'all know our motto on this show, at least mine anyway, is if you go out there, I'm assuming you're healthy. And if that's the case and you're not, then come off the field. There's no other reason around that. I expect Kenny to make all those things if he's out there.
Jim says here, this is interesting. I've noticed that Keanu Benton gets really angry when he misses a sack. He beat the ground with his fist. He did that the one time. TJ got there before he did. I don't think that's why Keanu was mad on that play, although I did not have a chance to speak with him after the game.
Yeah.
Keanu went to the wrong guy.
He went to the wrong guy.
Yeah. TJ went to the quarterback. Keanu got somebody else. Now that happens. There's a lot of movement out there, Moan, right?
It is, man. It really is. A lot of
bodies, a lot of helmets, a lot of
movement, right? Yes, the heck it is, man. Speaking of just going to the wrong and right guy, you got to tip your hat to Alex Highsmith just real quick. He gets it done. I think he was 2.5 sacks on the season going into that game, DK, and he finished up with, 2 last night.
11
what a day.
pressures. 11 pressures. He has the second most pressures in the league right now, behind Micah Parsons. It's Parsons and then Highsmith, not Watt. Yeah, the difference between TJ and those guys, though, is what? Yeah.
TJ get home.
TJ gets home.
That up and under movement, I don't know what's going on with Nicholas Petit-Frere, the right tackle from the Titans' shoulder, but it looked like it just ripped. I don't think I've ever seen a dude drop to the ground much for upper body injury.
Hey, that poor guy. I'm not even talking about the injury. Okay. He was gonna get called for 100 penalties.
Yes, he was.
Okay, Petit-Frere, is that who we're talking about? Nicholas Petit-Frere, yeah. Number 78 for those of you who don't know, we're talking about on the Titans' edge there. And TJ was just he was gonna take him to school for 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Yep.
And then they were gonna get to the point, I think, where they were gonna start lining up TJ against him. That was really, really something. And we knew that. You did call that beforehand. You said the Tennessee was going to struggle at the tackle positions, but you know what? You still got to go take care of it.
I mean, we only talk about what we know on this show, DK. We not playing around, man.
No. And you know what else we know on this show?
What's that?
Marcus Golden can play football.
Yes, he can.
I got to shout out to my man, Marcus Golden.
Yeah, he can. He got it done, man. He was actually close on numerous times yesterday,
too. He really was. And he took a lot of snaps. Another thing that a lot wouldn't have gotten noticed yesterday was that Alex kept coming in and out because Alex was banged up.
He was. I saw his knee taped up or some white tape around his knee. Yeah.
And yet you end up with 11 pressures.
I can't believe 11 pressures, DK.
Yeah.
Okay, for instance.
Easy.
Let's say this real quick. Let's compare. We talk about that group that do the analytical stuff on players, right? Pressures. What do they mean? He got home 2 times still. So if your guy's a big pressure guy, he better get home. 2 sacks justifies the 11 pressures. Does it not, DK?
Mm-hmm.
And so if we're talking about 19 sacks, well, I need to see 19 pressures. You need to be giving me about 3 sacks. Alex Highsmith, I feel like, set that bar now, DK.
The whole getting home thing?
Yeah. When you pressuring people, right?
Yeah. You've got to be able to get back there. Mentioning here that Elandon Roberts, somebody's giving him a shout out as well. Had a terrific game in addition to the big hit on Derrick Henry. I asked Elandon's one of my dudes, right? And I asked him, take me through the hit on Derrick Henry. What are you thinking there? Okay, and he took my question like in the literal sense, like, what do you mean? What am I thinking? Like, why would I try to tackle that guy?
And you're challenging him?
Yeah. And he said, here, it's like this. Somebody asked me earlier in the week, this is him now. Somebody asked me earlier in the week what it's like to tackle Derrick Henry. And my answer was, what if Derrick Henry's over there on that side thinking about what it's like to be tackled by me? He said, Mike Tomlin likes to talk about A-listers. That's kind of a new thing for him, a new term. He says, so-and-so's A-list, 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 okay? TJ gets the A-list category. Well, you know what? Derrick Henry's A-list, but you know what? I'm A-list in this league when it comes to stopping the run.
He is.
And that's what I was out there to show. And I was like, I'm sitting there like, I got under the hoodie.
Goosebumps.
I'm real easy on the goosebumps, but that was really, really good stuff. Darnell Washington had a catch.
He did, Ryan. He did. I think the crowd was going to go crazy like it was Heath Miller or something, man, after he got that catch.
Matthew Bunk gives credit where it's due. That it was, I don't know who Damian Woody is, but Damian Woody was the one who said that, and that name rings a bell. That's the one that I heard it attached to.
Former Patriots lineman. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a really, really good line.
Yeah.
There's also the point to be made here that Levis looked good, according to Steelers Azteca, but he was under heavy pressure and just kept throwing his arms up and looking at the refs. Sorry. One thing about him that stood out to me is that he didn't budge.
Yeah.
And I don't know how great that is for his future well-being and so forth. But he did not budge or flinch.
No, he did not, man. The kid has a lot of poise. He has a whole lot of that moxie. You know, people want to say at times. It's fascinating watching him, man. And it just goes to show, first round or not, first round grade or not, man, just find you a dude that fits your system. He looked like he fits this Tennessee Titans system, and there's a lot of hope behind what he's capable of doing. The decision making, he dropped some nice passes. The one where his young running back fell down, that ball, if he's on his feet, is a touchdown.
I mean, there was a lot to really like about this kid's game. I'm not going to sit here and dissect in a negative sense the performance that he had in his second NFL start. The future is very, very bright for him. Hand over fist. Notice I was struggling. Me and you done a lot of talking these last 48 hours. Not just here.
Up a lot too, man. God, I got back. I got in my bed last night. I looked at the clock for the last time. 2:48.
Oh, ask me mine.
I'm scared too.
Yeah. 7:08 was when I got done writing.
7:08.
I just felt like the column, the game deserved.
It did
some extra attention. There was a lot of really good stuff there. Al Saw says, "Hey Moan, is there a method to the madness of making adjustments at halftime instead of right away in the first half?" Levi Wallace referenced going into man coverage in the second half. They didn't change that much.
Yeah, the halftime adjustments are small, minute things, and him saying they're going to man coverage was probably some of the time, because there were still some porous holes when it came down to that defense. Like, go back at it at Al Sauce. He went. You go back and look at that game. Those dudes were still getting open in zones. They probably started to jam guys more at the line of scrimmage on first and second downs potentially, but third or second and long, they usually are gonna end up playing a little bit of zone. This is a fire zone team when you look at what they're due as structurally.
A sad note here comes in from Jennifer. She's operating on the account of Chris Weaver, who's a longtime watcher of this show, who's not doing well. She says, "Hello, this is Jennifer. This is an update on Dad in the hospital doing chemo. It's not going well. The biopsy showed that the cancer is active through both lungs. If there's any way to get any kind of message through, Jennifer, please let him know that we're thinking of him, and if he's able to watch us in any form, we hope that we're bringing him something."
Yeah, you can pod him and just let him listen if he wants to, We appreciate you tuning in and the contributions, definitely.
Yeah, that's a part of the community too. Not everybody's having a great day all the time. Even after a big win and everything else, it's there's always life, right?
It is, man. It is. Always is, DK.
So anyway, Moan, we're gonna call this one. We're gonna call this one a day.
Yeah, no doubt, man. It's Friday, dude. We got as much as we possibly can. What else did we miss? Oh, how we missed this, DK?
What is that? The gong?
Deontay.
Oh, yeah, we can do that. Crystal thinks my wife poisoned me. Actually, she was the one just trying to hand me a big bottle of water to save me here. Her job is to save me.
She said my job. Dolly's such a savage, man. I love that.
Yeah, exactly. Deontay. Let's talk about Deontay because he's earned it.
He has.
I talked a lot about the fight that this team has shown throughout the season, and they've done that in a lot of different forms. It takes different forms. One of those was Deontay coming back from the hamstring injury. I had told you, and I shared with all of you guys at the time, how he told me right after he got hurt, he goes, "I am coming back. I'm going to have an impact this season. This is not a write-off, meaning 2023.
Yeah.
I'm going to do absolutely everything that I can to be back and to make an impact." So what's he do? He comes back. He catches like 25 passes in the first 3 games that he's back. And then he gets to the end zone.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did, man. I did give a little look at my guy. I saw him Wednesday night at the hotel, man. I stood up, hugged him. We talked for a little while. I'm a fan of Deontay for all the right reasons. He a solid dude, right, DK?
Mm-hmm.
And most wide receivers have their issues.
He has grown up more than any player on the roster.
Yeah, he's grown up. He's grown up, man. So I enjoy what he is, even if he has some transgressions here or there. I know the dude to be very, very solid. So I like that.
Now, a lot of people were happy for Deontay after the game. You could see it. We're hearing from some of them here. This is a good football player, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And he earns his targets by working as hard as he does on the routes, by working as hard as he does on understanding the offense. Okay. And you got to earn those.
Yeah.
Right, Moan? Am I right?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And just the concentration of his craft, too. That play where Terrell Edmonds also was out there on the field for the Titans, where he almost tipped that ball on the sideline, and Deontay had the concentration to actually catch that. Oh, my. I was impressed. I'm like, Terrell, that is the story of your life. You're always that close to either getting a pick or getting a pass breakup a lot, right, DK? That's been the story. And I know you're a Terrell fan like myself. But to see Deontay come out on the back end with the catch and run down the sideline, how is he always this open?
He manufactures it, literally. I mean, this is when you see those, he puts on Instagram all summer long those video clips of him training in Florida, running his routes and being super, super precise. Every single step and half step is measured with timing. There's nothing really to compare to that when it comes to, I believe, a trait that a wide receiver can have that a quarterback values. People ask, why did Ben like Ryan Switzer so much? Because he knew how to get open.
Yeah.
Why did they used to like Gunner? Gunner would get open. He couldn't do anything else.
Get open. That means we got completions and we're moving the sticks. Allen Robinson played a role last night. It was good to watch those dudes all kind of contribute, DK.
Oh, Allen Robinson, when he was younger, was like that. In his early years in the NFL and going back to Penn State, he was born open.
Yep.
But he worked at it. You know, he developed that trait. It is not routine, is it, Moan? You saw you saw the best.
Yeah.
You were part of an offense that had the best. Nobody got open like 84.
That's what I was going to say. That's why AB manufactured a longer career than a lot of the other guys in Pittsburgh. Other than, I would say, Emmanuel could do pretty good getting open in Denver and other places that he was at. Emmanuel Sanders, he was good at it also, DK, but he ended up leaving. Mike Wallace, one-trick pony. There's a reason Coach T said those type things, right? And the same thing goes for other dudes. Like, give me a little bit more so we can move these chains.
DB Cooper says you need Deontay Johnson to mentor Pickens. He does that, but Pickens is not a mature individual. He's not mature. Okay.
Sorry, yeah.
It's almost like they have a kid. And I don't even mean that in a mean. He's not a bad person. He's not in trouble or anything. He's just a child.
Yeah.
And I saw it last night on one sequence. If you want to talk about real football stuff as opposed to Instagram, he's out there. It was a running play to the right side.
Yeah.
He was looking for Titans to mow down. Okay. And then he's turning. He's talking to the Tennessee sideline afterward and everything because he was mad about presumably about not getting any passes.
Yeah, and I get that too, man. But I'll say this, though. I think the on-the-field stuff is because he want to be great and be recognized and be known and live up to more than the acrobatic catch guy, right, DK? I think that plays a part in it. But I'll say this, with his teammates, from what I saw his interaction with Christian Kuntz, the long snapper, like they're back and forth. You don't really see wide receivers dabbling with the specialists like man.
No. He's a good kid. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with him except that he's extremely immature. And I don't even mean that in the insulting way. He's just literally not mature. Okay. That's going to take time, or for some it just doesn't come. I've covered superstars in sports who never grew up. You know, they just stay kids. Mo, and you've been teammates with them. You know whom. I'm not pointing at, believe it or not, in this case, not anybody in particular.
Yeah,
it just happens. They just stay children.
It's just part of the growing up process, and hopefully, you just get an opportunity to see that talent outweigh what that childishness is.
So, how long? She has this Renegade video here. How long is this?
Well, you can play it.
Oh, it's for Moan. Oh, yeah, we can't play it. That's right.
You can't
Sorry,
play
everybody.
it.
Yeah, she just texted it to Moan, and I thought it was for us to put up on the, on the show. But
we'll get flagged, man.
No, he's not like Chase Claypool. He's just not. Chase had a laziness to him. This kid is not lazy. Somebody else said he's like Juju. Is he more immature, less mature than Juju? He's way less mature than Juju. Juju knew exactly what he was doing.
I'll say this, and this is just me. I think he's longing to be important. DK, go read about his upbringing and how he had to deal with a lot of crazy stuff. And I think he's striving to escape, man. And that ain't no excuse for, people's attitude and stuff like that. But that level of importance, DK, goes a friggin' long way, does it not? It does. Like, to be important to your peers. Oh, George, you just the one catch guy is all you get a game. Like, nah, he want to be the guy that's getting 8 to 12 targets a game, and it's not happening right now.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody's saying to upload the Renegade video in a separate video. We already did. It's on our YouTube channel. You can find it. Just go down to it's like there's a row that says On Location Steelers or something like that, but you'll find it. We just can't put it on here. That's all because of copyright issues.
Yeah, D. Jacob has a term for him. We call him a young. I'm like, I call him a young Thundercat, and ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm with you on that. I like a little fire, and this is the other thing.
Oh, he's got that.
Yeah, I like that team needs.
That's why he's not Claypool.
That team. Trust me when I tell you guys this. That side of the ball offensively needs guys like George Pickens. It just does, because somebody has to be able to rein them in, and that's when you start building leadership, and that's when you have a guy like him to start to realize the little things are more important than his calls, man. So it'll get handled. If you're asking me if things has happened like that, or if not, you might get a second or first rounder if you trade them. I mean, that's just is what it is.
Yeah, I can see already a trend here today, and this isn't us doing this, okay? Because we've talked about everything else.
Somebody's blowing this up.
Everyone's, and this is, people say media. This is coming right from you guys. Everybody's George already, and Instagram and this and that. That does not originate with the media, and you're seeing evidence of it here. Me and Moan are talking about everything else, but you guys are in on this conversation too, so we're going to follow your beat to an extent.
All he did was archive pictures. He can just hit one button and get all those pictures back.
Big deal, you know. But everyone wants to have a scandal, it seems, as it's associated with this team. I got to tell you, Moan, that team. I'm not going to say who I said this to last time, but somebody very high up and very important with the Steelers. Just in a casual conversation, I said to him, I cannot believe the fight that this team has, that this group has, the character, the personality. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm not being over the top here when I say this. It's just they've been outgained by 900 yards this season, and they're 5-3. You know where that comes from? In here, fourth quarters.
I saw somebody else too on one of those big networks, DK, say, Coach Tomlin's got his team doing this, and this. The moment if Pittsburgh ever gets tired of him, there will be teams that fire their coaches to hire him. And that's just that's truth, DK. It is. The dude know what he's doing, man. The team got it, and I'm glad to see some of that still around. It's fight. You're right, hand over fist. It's fight. It's grit. There's a lot of all that going on with how they're manufacturing wins, and that's what it is. They're manufacturing it with good defense and field position. By the way, opening up the game with a freaking touchdown drive.
That's something too. I mean, that's a fight in and of itself. You know, I mean, it really is.
Well,
I mean, they showed a lot to me in that game last night. Okay, it's funny you've been getting on Mike Tomlin, and I've been getting on Mike Tomlin a lot, and I'll stand by all the data, the information, and everything else here. But the recognition of character, the identifying. Moan, you and I were talking about this here at the HQ yesterday a lot. The whole who is a Steeler and who isn't a Steeler and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot of that in that game last night. Mason Cole had a good game.
Yeah.
Okay. There was real fight out there, individually and collectively.
I told you the conversation I had with Mason, man. It wasn't no correlation on me. I'm just glad to see him rise up in prime time.
Mm-hmm.
He showed it, and he gonna have to continue to do that. DK.
Yes.
I was glad for them dudes. They moved the line of scrimmage in a real good way. They had some fire about them. They really did. Both sides of the ball did, man. Keanu Ben, the young fella, the linebacker stepped up when Cole Holcomb went out. That was good.
So, yeah, I know where this is going to go, okay? We're going to get into some middle school drama here about George and this and Instagram and whatever else here.
Yeah, we're not going to do that no more, man.
People, you've got yourself a football team that fights. They've got flaws, but they fight. And I'm not going to say who, but one player told me last night, look, the one thing that nobody talks about as it relates to this team and how we're underperforming or getting outgained, been missing some really important people, okay? That's not an excuse. That's why they can't say it publicly, okay? But it's true. They played last night without Minkah Fitzpatrick. Does anybody even mention that today? Okay.
They won.
Yeah, and there's no Pat Freiermuth out there as a target. You know, your quarterback's out there with a busted rib, and we're wondering why he's misfiring, you know, on every other pass. They fought like hell against, by the way, an opponent that was doing the same thing. I thought the Titans' effort was terrific.
I told you. I knew this was going to be a good matchup. I'm glad and both teams benefited because both teams benefited, DK. It was beautiful to see. That, to me, I feel like you're a fan of football. It made everybody stay up late. It did. And it's just mean for a late night for us, DK.
Yeah, I mean, Minkah Fitzpatrick was one of your top tacklers. Cole Holcomb is, present tense, your top tackler. You didn't have any of those players.
Mm-hmm.
But we seem to want to analyze things as if these factors don't exist because it's excuse making or whatever. And now we're talking about Instagram.
What's the old saying? If we're talking about anything other than football, then we're not winning. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Let's call it a day here, Moan.
We doing post. I got a real good story too.
Here we go.
Yeah, let's do a real good story.
Hang on, I got to take this. She
Yeah,
just
what
put
you
one up
doing,
here.
DK?
That was her. She just put that up there and messed up our timing. Some messages from the boss, first of all. We've had 800 people watching this show, and only 200 likes.
Come on, y'all. We're
Not
better
okay.
than that.
On the other hand, we're at 1,467 members, which is an all-time high.
Wow.
And as she says, damn, guys.
Dolly.
That is absolutely amazing. Completely. I want to thank our friend Jay Freeman coming in with a $50 contribution. Says, I don't want to ask a question because I came in late. You probably answered it. Enjoyed watching the O-line protect our battered quarterback, and our running backs go Steelers. Offensive line, 0 sacks. 2 quarterback hits, one of which was illegal. That was the Jeffrey Simmons one where he landed on top of him.
Yeah.
And 166 yards rushing. Moan, where does that start? Always
up front, DK.
Always up front. What you got?
And that was good, man. By the way, you got to tip your hat when it's good. Those dudes were good last night, DK.
Good.
And you guys got your wish, right? We talked about that was the lead that we couldn't really talk about. I'm not into news breaking like that, DK.
Mm-hmm.
I just ain't. But Chuks was the storyline that I end up having.
And he talked about it candidly afterward. He stood there at his stall and answered every question that was asked, to his credit.
So I think I told him. He came up to me. I was on the field talking to Matt Spaeth, and I hit up Broderick like, hey, man, do your thing, Marcel. I'll talk to the guys out there, and I'm about to get ready. I was like, I got to get ready to go upstairs and go to work. And Chuks like, you see the news? And I act like I didn't know. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He was like, they benching me. And I was like, okay. I was like, cool. I was like, so now that you know what this feels like, Chuks, I said, now it's personal. I was like, it's all about business. I said, for you to get what you want out of this thing, nothing else matters. I was like, from here on out, if you don't start stepping on necks and taking it personal every single chance you get, then what we doing it for? I was like, it's business now. It's a little bit more personal to you. I was like, you're walking up and down the street. I said, that's easy. I was like, you're an athletic freak, Chuks. I was like, make it a little bit more personal. I said, that's where you're going to come off on top. I was like, this ain't the end. I was like, so what if you don't end up playing here again? I was like, keep working. I was like, but Chuks, you are a freak of an athlete, dude.
Yeah, you can't manufacture what he has.
Yeah, and that's what I was like. You do
giant
this,
human being.
Somebody saw. I was like, you do this easy. You walk. Look at you.
Yeah.
I said, you walk it.
It's too easy.
It's too easy for. I said, so now make it personal. And he looked at me with some intent that I've never seen him look at me, because I was really kind of getting. I ain't gonna say I was getting. I was really just being stern in my approach to what I was telling them. I was like, Chuks, I've been there before, to where I felt like that was my spot, and they gave it to somebody else, and I had to go beat them out again. I was like, now it's your turn. Everybody has that aha moment when you become a pro. So I'm hoping he does see that. Whatever is going to happen from here on out, cool. But this is where I'm at with him. And I was glad that he actually said, have you seen it? And I was like, okay, now we can address it.
Because he wanted to bring it up. He wanted to figure out, and this is what you have to do. The first thing you have to do with a problem is identify and accept that there's a problem.
He did.
And not only did he do that, but he took the third step. He addressed it. He brought it up. He broached it. He didn't try to bury it. He didn't say, I don't care about this, or pout, or unfollow everybody on Instagram, or whatever the hell. Okay.
Yeah.
He said, I want to do something about this. This is a proud individual. He has had things, I believe, Moan, and I always feel silly on this show talking about the offensive line when I have you on here, but just to share my own thoughts on Chuks, since I've been around him for a few years, in the football sense, so people know what we're talking about here. He's so strong, so overwhelming, including in practices, that he'll go out there and he will execute one move and think that the play is done. Okay? And it isn't. No. Not for everybody. Max Crosby, I thought in Las Vegas, was the one that really exposed that more than anybody else, because He's stronger than Max Crosby. He is. Okay. He's an anomaly. Okay. But he would do one thing to Crosby, and then Crosby's like, okay, I'm still coming. Yeah. I don't have any quota here. I'm still going to go after your quarterback.
Yep. But it was good to have him address it, DK. And I'll say this to the fan base. You never know when you're going to need Chuks again. Don't do the pile on thing like, hey, you suck and all that type of stuff.
You don't need to do that. Just because you like Broderick. Yeah.
Yeah. And Broderick did his thing too yesterday. And I thought it was pretty solid. Again, Jay Freeman, we did talk about the O-line. They did their thing, man. When it was good, it was good. And those dudes did their thing all in all. I was impressed with the young fella. And I said this earlier. We got us one. I think we got us a goon that's going to lead the way. It's going to make others jealous of the attention he's getting because they won't want to be a part of that. Man, why is it just him? Or they not going to leave him out to hang by himself?
So good. That's so good.
Oh,
I mean, that's
think about it.
It hasn't been there. Okay. That player has not been on this offensive line. Okay. Respectfully, Moan, since 53.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. And
I know what it is.
And then 53 brings everybody up again, respectfully, to a certain level. Okay, including Dave.
Yep.
Okay. And all of a sudden, everybody's more effective. You had to perform at a certain level just to fit in. Okay. Yeah. Marcus Gilbert had to do it. Alejandro Villanueva had to do it. These guys haven't had that bar setter
in about 2-3 years.
Yeah. Okay. And now this kid comes in and he starts doing things that are special. By the way, number of pressures allowed by Broderick Jones last night.
None.
Zero pressures. Zero pressures. You know how many games in a row that is for him? How many starts in a row of 0 pressures? That would be 2. The only 2 that he's played.
Yeah.
But no, you don't have to bury Chuks to make it happen.
You don't have to bury Chuks. And Broderick will have a moment. Okay. He could have hurt the team real bad last night with that personal foul.
Yes. Yeah.
Go back, search Coach Tomlin Pouncey interaction. I hope that was the exact same interaction he gave Broderick. This is bigger than you. I like it, but we ain't got time to be fighting and getting penalties.
No, and such a bad time too. And that is, and you know what? That also is a reflection on the head coach. The people who instantly get mad at the head coach when that happens, I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
I'm all right with that. I feel like that's fair. We weren't able to get to everybody's questions who contributed, and I apologize for that. I've had them on the screen here. We had a lot going on today.
We did.
A lot going on today. Thanks again, not only to everybody who watches and listens to this show, but to everybody who was here yesterday. It was a really special day.
It was dope, DK.
That was cool. The thing at the end, we're going to find a way to make a video where we stood up with everybody who was in the shop, and Moan wanted to show everybody that I am, in fact, not short.
Yeah, you're not short at all, DK. Yeah. But
I did look at the picture that I took between you and Max Starks. I look short. I'm a 6'2", and I've got these 2 redwoods around me.
Hey, by the way, the PEF, that crew is a highly penalized crew.
Oh, it did. Both teams. Ugh.
Yeah, both teams.
No one came to see you.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that nobody came to see you, and you cutting into my sleep time.
Yes. There's that, too. All right, guys. Let's do it again Monday.
Monday, good people. We'll see y'all.
Oh, wait. Friday.
Oh, Friday. Because we had a game.
That's right.
We end going into the weekend like this. Y'all know call somebody you hadn't talked to in a while. Buy somebody a random drink. Have a random conversation. Apologize if you did something wrong. And just make it back to us on Monday, good people. Enjoy yourselves. And we got a stress-free weekend.
And prayers and thoughts out to Chris and Jennifer. Thanks so much, everybody.
No doubt, good people. Appreciate y'all.